Hey guys, I'm back. I'm here to talk about what happened over on Stark yesterday. Apparently, the day before, about 30 Antarctica, or not Antarctica, 30 Antifa went into a house where there was a young man, which is a straight coward, his fiance, and his daughter. His daughter is part of Antifa, and it's it's the bastardization of anti-fascists because the new Antifa or the Antifa you see nowadays in Portland, Oregon, are fascists. They act fascist. They smell fascist. They are fascists. Okay. Um. And what happened was I went to my son called me up around 8 in the morning and said there was a bunch of Antifa outside his apartment threat or outside his apartment threatening him, disrespecting him, and calling him a Nazi. I went over, and of course, they were all locked up in this apartment, two apartments down from my son's. And when I talked to my son, he basically sat there and said that they were there. He walked by them and looked, and one of them flipped him off and stuck his tongue out at him in a sexual gesture. And my son took offense to that, a male sticking his tongue out at my son. My son just doesn't like that. You know, he's not that kind of a person. Um, and then apparently, you know, they talked to some of the neighbors and said that he was a fascist and stuff like that. It was a real bad situation. Um, I went over there. A guy from Patriot Prayer showed up there. His wife, which is also Antifa, showed up there. And we're all trying to de-escalate the situation. As we were trying to de-escalate, Antifa was sitting inside the apartment trying to escalate the situation, trying to get my son to attack one of them and stuff like that. I find it totally disrespectful that Antifa would go after would go after my son. Um, and they're like, well, look, he's attacking this lady at her apartment. No, I didn't attack no girl at her apartment. I sat out there and tried to figure out what the blank was going on. Like I said, these guys are fascist goons. They don't know they will not tell the truth. They're a terrorist organization. Okay? Um you may as well um listen to a Crip or Blood or MS-13. They run about the same type thing. The only difference is that Antifa uses violence, harassment, extortion, and stuff like that for political reasons. So I call them a terrorist because that's what terrorists do. They scare people into believing what they want people to believe. Okay, they mask up. You know, my son said, "Hey, if you guys want to come out one on one and deal with it," of course they didn't want to come out and deal with it. They're cowards. Um, it's just a real shame that they act the way they do. You know, they do the same thing the Germans did in 1937, 1938, and 1939. You know, we'll laugh and have a great time, but if you disagree with us, we'll deal with you. We'll slash your tires and stuff like that. Now, my car was damaged. Right now, I've heard rumors that's definitely not true that they're claiming that me and my son damaged their car. Okay, for me to get out, I would have to. Everyone that knows my Prius knows that when that door opens up, lights come on, um, things bells ding and everything else, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to open my door up, draw all kinds of attention to my car, go into the back seat, grab a rock, go around the car, smash the window, and then walk back around, hop in the car, and drive away. You lost your freaking mind, Antifa. You know? You lost your fucking mind. I think you guys are brain warped. I think when God was giving out brains, you thought he said trains and said, I don't want one. I think you guys use too much dope. You know, I'm heavy set. I can't do a lot of running and stuff. I would have to literally shut that car off, go over there, smash the window, then run back to the car, hop in, turn my car back on, and drive away. You're talking 3, 4, 5 minutes to do some shit like that. Your lousy asses aren't worth that much time. As far as I'm concerned, the whole thing about bringing other Antifa in and saying, hey, look, Bob's doing this, Bob's doing that. Bob didn't do shit. Okay, there was damage done to my car on my block. I believe it's copsuckers. It very well could have been Antifa retaliating because they know that there's issues between some of the cop watchers and Antifa. Antifa likes to attack cop watchers. And they think, well, yeah, we can attack them and they're supposed to kiss our ass. Well, that don't work. Not in this time, not in this village, nowhere. So I'm just letting you guys know that that's what happened. Now, behind my son's apartment complex, there's a trail, right? And that night, my son tried to avoid Antifa by not going through the lit parking lot, but taking the trail, which there's no lights. Okay, as you walk down the trail, you're walking behind fenced, gated backyards of the apartment complex. Okay, he was doing that, and Antifa seen him. Now, Chris put in that we were in other people's backyards. We were never in anyone's yard. It was a trail that goes back, and people use it all the time if they don't want to walk through the driveway. I mean, in the wintertime, it floods. In the summertime, it's hot. So there's, people use the trail for a lot of different reasons. Bringing girlfriends and stuff that they don't want other people to see. Maybe there's someone they don't want to see in the front, so they sneak out in the back. There's 1,000 reasons for that. Not for peeping in people's yards. These people are violent. They are very dangerous. A number of the people in the apartment complex said they were afraid of Antifa. And so when the manager went over there, the manager did not want, and told them they did not want Antifa there. So Antifa left, and 5 minutes later, after the manager left, they came back. I find it real interesting because I heard the night before when they kicked the guy out of the apartment that they brought in 30 Antifa to kick a coward out of an apartment. That is really, really cowardly. I mean, how could you guys sit there and say that you got any guts at all if it takes 30 of you to mess with a coward? So this is Bob with Film the Police signing off.